It's Tommy Coulter with Stocks and Shells coming in on a Sunday night here in Ocala, Florida. And what a week, what a wild, wild week it was if you was trading. So let's start out with some of these headlines from these guys. Yahoo Finance and some of the other ones have basically classified this as one of the worst weeks of trading since September. So the gloom and doom looks like for most stocks was only good for the ones that are playing putts as far as options or betting against some of these guys and doing short selling. So they might have made a bundle during this past week. So looking forward to see what happens this week. And we had some late breaking news on Friday regarding a stock that we love to follow, DoorDash. So what happened with DoorDash is after the market had closed, they started spiking up. We were watching it and we couldn't figure out what or why was going on. Why was it spiking after 4 o'clock? And it just had a rough week. It was down like 5%. They had shot up to close to $215 per share, $215 a share over the past 30 or 60 days. And then they had a huge pullback. There's always a pullback, as they say. So this was a big pullback. And then they pulled back to like the maybe 179 range, somewhere in there on Friday's trading. And then they shot up close to 190. So with them joining the S&P later this month during this March Madness, that could be huge for them. And then the other one that we found out is joining, and I just love this name, being growing up in New Jersey outside of Philadelphia, home of Rocky, besides DoorDash, and DoorDash's ticker is DASH, but TKO, the knockout stock, TKO is their ticker. They're going to be another one that is going to be going into the S&P later in the month in March. So you got DoorDash, TKO, knockout, and you got Williams-Sonoma was the third one that was mentioned. So these three stock tickers is going to be going into the S&P come, late March, later this month. Now, with all the gloom and doom and these guys short selling stuff, we'll have to see what happens here with all this, with these three companies. But we are definitely going to be following them, going forward with this stuff. So that's what's going on with the stocks, and that's what we found, this week with some of them. And we're still following Uber a little bit and watching them, seeing if they can recover from this couple of weeks of pullbacks. And as always, some of the other ones, Tesla. And then just looking, one of my former employees, AT&T, it looks like is at almost an all-time high. That was always like a safe trade to go high there. Their ticker's T. It looks like they're at like 27 a share. So it's a lot we could talk about with AT&T too. But anyhow, we'll hold that for another podcast. And it looks like the futures are a little bit down again, heading into Monday morning. So that's interesting to see. And then let's go over some of these shells that we have that are going to be uploaded. So we have a bunch of shell work, and this is top notch, handcrafted by Sandy Shells. So you'll see more of this coming up, and then we're slowly going to also share some of her works on Etsy, which is another public company. So we could talk about Etsy and maybe even eBay, Amazon, Walmart, and those kinds. So we're going to start advertising some of her stuff on that as well. So anyhow, on this Sunday night podcast, we're going to be signing off. Think spring. It was sunny and 80 here in Ocala, Florida today, the horse capital of the world. World Equestrian Center is here. So it was just gorgeous, gorgeous, sunny and warm weather. So you guys out there, keep the faith, whether you're playing long or short. If you've had some tough trading on calls, versus putts, and these guys that are betting short, you hang in there. Hopefully things will turn around. Signing off here in Ocala, Florida, the horse capital of the world. Tommy Coulter with Stocks and Shells.